in the front row for the first 410 wing sprint car feature in 19 years at Red Cedar Speedway. Starting second from Elk Grove, California, the Flow Racing, Finley Farms, HinderCars.com, Focus Motor Trucking, Works Limited, JVI Group, number 57, Young Money, Kyle Larson. And the pole setter looking for back-to-back victories with Kubota Highland Racing. At number 80 in the Skagit Speedway, Race Shooting Foundation, Ford Performance, Hank Rooney. Number 26, it's Justin Peck.
Justin Peck.
24 drivers are ready to go 30 laps around Red Cedar Speedway, the first race in the state of Wisconsin for Kubota Highland Racing, the first race here in 19 years for 410 wing sprint cars. This is going to be very, very interesting. Tony, the storylines are plentiful heading into this one.
You're right about that, Chase. I mean, you look right in front of us here, just at the entry to turn number 1 at the end of the front straightaway. Justin Peck, he's really had the hot hand, I feel like, as of lately, rolling into his first feature victory of the year. Back in Ransomville, New York, he was on a streak of top 4 finishes, and then he pops off that win back on Saturday night at Butler Motor Speedway in Quincy, Michigan. He's got the boss. Kevin and Monica Rudine are here with us tonight. Tomorrow, we head back east to 141 to make up the Race Rudine Foundation event. I got to talk to Kevin Rudine back in the pit area a little while ago just about what that race is becoming over the years. It was a marquee event with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. It is now a marquee event with Kubota High Limit Racing. And that race, as you know, Chase, it travels, right? It goes to a different venue at least every couple of years. It moved on from I-70 last year to 141 Speedway here in Wisconsin. And the goal of the Rudine family with that traveling Race Rudine Foundation event is to get the word out to as many different markets and see as many people eye to eye as possible about their mission at the Race Rudine Foundation, which is ending the stigma around addiction and substance abuse. So it's a great mission, and it's a great thing we get to celebrate tomorrow night, helping people learn more about that cause. But man, Kevin Rudine could not be more proud of his driver, Justin Peck, and his crew chief, Tyler Tessemaker. I got a chance to interview Tyler on After the Checkers last weekend at Butler, and he talked in that interview. I advise everyone to go watch it, because Tyler tells a great story about them going to the airport to pick up a freshly built Ron Shaver Ford power plant. They bolted underneath the hood of that number 26 Skagit Speedway machine. And then a few hours later, they parked it in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. Justin Peck setting himself up for possibly a very similar result here tonight. You've already talked about it, Chase. He went 4th to 1st, scoring the ace in the hole back in the heat races at Butler. He's done that exact same feat here again tonight. I believe I saw High Limit Racing's Brian Walker tweet that in the series' national history, since we began racing national last year at East Bay Raceway Park, an ace in the hole had only been completed twice, where a driver goes 4th to 1st in the heat. Well, last night, but most recently at Butler, and here tonight, Justin Peck has done it back-to-back. So Peck looks very, very strong, but he's got a full field right behind him. Talk about Kyle Larson, Chase. He's been searching all over the racetrack every time they've gone on track. Kyle Larson, Rico Abreu, and Tanner Thorson trying to beat his best finish with the series ever, a podium finish back at East Bay Raceway Park. He's coming in after a 4th place finish at Butler, an 11th place finish at Port Royal. It's a very pointy, sharp, fast end of the field here tonight.
She's still asleep.
This is going to be a tough race.
Certainly is. You mentioned Kyle Larson there. He's going to start second. He does have a High Limit Racing victory on the year, but
where's Larson?
Way back in March on the 19th.
Who's that? 26. I don't know them. Show Larson.
So it's definitely been a
golly. Now I know why they call it Red Cedar.
This year as well. He is going to start second as the cars begin to come to life.
Here we go. There you go. 57.
Of Brad Sweet. With the champion on Brad Sweet's High Roller playlist. This is about to get good, Tony. That was a good song to lead us
What's
into this one.
Larson's playlist?
What a playlist.
What's Larson's playlist?
I don't know.
They haven't played one.
Look at that. It's a pair of Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the
She's done,
Year
baby.
contenders. Dason Pursley, who was so fast in Capital Custom Trailers qualifying, lining up right alongside the quickest chicken, Chase Randall. Boy, Chase Randall's really needed a good result after the last couple of nights, having used provisionals, and then you see Dason Pursley right there. Chase, you remember the West Coast was not kind to the young man from Locust Grove, Oklahoma. So a pair of rookies up near the front of this field, starting 5th and 6th before tonight's A main event.
Yeah, got to keep an eye on row number 3. Is Pursley, his best finish of the year was a 7th place finish. That was back at Central Arizona Raceway. As for Randall, his best run of the year was a 4th place finish. That was back at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. As the cars have all come to life, and in just a few moments, they'll get in behind the HenryCars.com pace truck in their proper starting position. The car stopped in turn number 4 with a driver radio issue, a safety problem for Thorson, and so they are taking care of that down there in the 4th corner right now. For the driver set to start 3rd in this feature event, that is Tanner Thorson down there with a safety issue, so he will get his proper starting spot here for the beginning of this race. Race fans, after the high rollers go 4 wide tonight, after the 4 wide, we would ask if you could please take your seats so that everybody behind you is able to take in the action for the 30-lapper tonight at Red Cedar Speedway, as it looks like the issue has been resolved for Tanner Thorson, and so he will refire the Rock Gross Motorsports number 88 and take his spot inside of row number 2. HenryCars.com pace truck is on the back stretch, and in just a few seconds here, the field will catch up to him. Tanner Thorson on your screen right there. He's moved up to 8th in the overall point standings, and he's only about 20 or so points behind Casey Kane for 7th in points. So definitely a lot to gain here for Tanner starting up front. Obviously, there's a lot of things to gain, but that would be one of them right there. So it looks like another car is stopped in turn 4 now. That is Ayrton Geniton. Another car that was supposed to start inside the top 10. Geniton rolling off 8th in this one. May also have a driver radio issue. We'll have to wait and see what the verdict is from Highland Racing officials. Ayrton Geniton chasing the full POWRi 410 point standings this year, a series that is primarily based out of the Missouri, Kansas area, but does travel down to Texas, as well as goes over to Illinois a little bit, and Kentucky, and a couple of other places, along with Indiana. Geniton was the points champion of that series last year. His best run of the season in the 410 for Ayrton Geniton, that came back at the Lake Ozark Speedway May 24th. That was with the POWRi 410 series, Tony.
Got to check in with Ayrton Geniton back in the pit area, and it's always fun to have Ayrton here with us. You know, a lot of drivers, high rollers and otherwise, are going to take these 2 nights with Kubota High Limit Racing and then parlay them, Chase, into a 3-night to combine to make about a mini sprint week you would for Wisconsin, as the Outlaws are in town. Ayrton Geniton, as you talked about, will not be partaking, but he's got a busy weekend of racing anyway. And I think they're getting ready to go 4 wide as they clean up Ayrton Jennington down there, Chase.
Yeah, they certainly are, Tony. They're just getting a couple more things buttoned up here with Jennington's car, and then he will be able to continue on. As we mentioned, starting outside of row 4 next to Aaron Reitzel. Kubota Highlander Racing official right there, Cody Hewson on your screen, making off. If you aren't aware, the drivers do have a one-way communication device that allows the race director to talk to them and give them directions over the radio. So when that goes out, that is definitely not good. It looks like Jennington's car will refire, and he will find his proper starting position.
Chase, Tanner Thorson lines up 3rd in this one. That's his best finish ever. A 3rd place back on night 1 of 2024 at East Bay Raceway Park.
Thank you, Tony. Here we go. Red Cedar Speedway.
4 wide.
To the high limit room.
Cha-ching.
We've got 24 high rollers, but only one is hitting the ultimate jackpot here tonight. It's time to double down. It's time to raise the stakes. And it's time to go all in with Kubota High Limit Racing. Breaking off the 4 wide and getting back to
She said, no cussing.
behind the HendrickCars.com pace truck. And once again, race fans, if you could
Turn
please
off.
take your seat
Hey,
now as
quit
we
it.
are ready to go green flag racing the next time by, so that those behind
Don't
you
shake
are
my
able to take
table,
in the
baby.
action
That
here with the
sit
high
down, will
rollers.
ya?
So
I'm
if you
sitting
have not,
down.
please take your seats as
Sit
we're
down.
going for the next
No!
time by.
Okay, okay, you guys, stop it.
Tanner Thorson, Rico Abram, row number 2.
I
Jason
think-
Persley and Chase
I
Ray,
don't
row
know.
3. Aaron Reitzel, Ayrton Jennington in row
I think the
4.
one starting first
Casey
is the
Kane,
fastest
Brett Larson,
tonight.
row number 5. Austin McCarl, Brad Sweet, row
I hope
6.
Larson
row
gets
7.
it. Larson
Andrew
seems
Nagrin,
really
Simon
fast for
Lynch,
like the
row 8
first
is Spencer Baste,
Yeah.
Andrew
laps.
Sams.
For the
Row
first
9,
two-
Brian Crouch and Tyler Corey, row
two
12.
laps
For
usually.
row 10, excuse
And
me,
then
row
it seems
4,
like he kind of
Corey
levels
Day.
out.
Then
So I
Joe
don't know.
Myers, Austin Hartman, Luke Nellis, and Jeremy Snow. Red Cedar Speedway, we got them racked.
At least he gets a
We
start
got
on the
'em
front
stacked,
row.
And we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing on turn number 4. We are green.
Gonna have to get that sucker wound up quick.
Features
Whoa.
a little smoke coming out of the left side of the 26.
Oh, that is smoke.
As he shows the way
Yeah,
down
tire.
that
Whoa, 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 whoa,
He's blowing up.
whoa. Dang.
is off the pace. The
I think he
caution
blew
flag is
up.
gonna come out.
Oh, that's good. Caution's out.
Wow.
That means if he can't go, Larson starts number 1.
Saw a
Because
little
nobody
bit
can
of smoke
pass.
out of that car, maybe thought just
Darn,
some
who's
more
that?
headers in.
Justin Peck?
Yeah, he's the fastest one.
Went
He
down
won
the
last
backstretch
week,
at
and he's
first,
using the
saw
same
it
motor
at
tonight.
the middle point of the backstretch just
I got a funny
absolutely
feeling
came
they
to a
had that
stop.
motor
You'll see a replay here on
making
the
a
Power
ton of
Cube
horsepower,
replay.
but the trouble is,
Back it's on the throttle.
he makes it weak.
Smoke comes out the side.
I think he blew it.
We were a little bit worried there, and then coming out of the backstretch, you see the car just absolutely loses power. Wow. That is, you hate to see that, Tony.
That's
But
gotta hurt.
Justin was having such a great
I
night.
think he blew it up.
Heartbreaker. They battled gremlins with this Ford engine. Tyler Tessmaker talked about it on After the Checkers. The
He can't
challenges
pass,
of developing
so it's the first
just
lap,
an
so
underutilized
that means Larson will
plant.
be
So
front row
many,
by
the
himself.
vast majority of engine blocks in 410 Sprint Car Racing or Chevrolet.
He's going back or he's
and so
done?
that Ford
I think
has
he's
been a
done.
struggle for Tony
think he
Stewart
blew it
Racing
up.
until they stepped away from it. And then this
So you
year
can
it's
push
been-
your
it's been a
motor
challenge at times, but
and,
There's a certain
and do
limit.
things to it to make as much horsepower as you can, which his car was very fast. But the problem is it loses its dependability.
Straight back to the trailer.
It
So
can
turn
grenade.
is there for that
And I
number
think
26
his.
machine.
So there's limit.
That is gonna be a
You
huge
cannot-
hit.
Well,
He was only
you can do what you want to do, but you're the one
Yeah,
who
there's
to live with
limit.
the consequences.
There's limit.
Oh, well, of course there's limits.
Triple digits back as we're gonna go
You
to the
have
next
to-
time by. That's going
you
to
want it to
Kyle
last.
Larson to
Yeah, it's powerful, but it doesn't mean
It's
you're
just like
gonna.
NASCAR motors.
Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, you go over the line and you push it too much.
There's always
Take the
limit.
part a little bit.
Baby, enough.
Casey Kane and Brett
That's it.
Larson and Austin McCarl.
That put Larson on the front row. Number that one
opening corner off the bottom. We'll see if he's able to put that to good use here when we go back to green.
He'll sure try. That 88 seemed like he was moving pretty quick too.
Green lights come on. We're back underway here at Red Cedar Speedway.
Dang.
Kyle Larson straight to the top.
Dang, Rick is angry.
Where you get up there?
Quick move, quick work out of Abreu off the second corner, who moving to P2. Starts to chase down Kyle Larson. Remember, Abreu is the Durst Dice Roll driver here tonight. Now he's challenged down low. Tanner Thorson takes a spot back way across the line. Tanner Thorson back into the second spot. He's side by side with Abreu. Now Thorson, the bottom in turn 2 and the bottom in turn 4 appear to be very, very good for that Rod Girls Motorsports number 88 car. As he now begins to pursue the 57 and Kyle Larson rolling into turn 1. 2 laps complete, 28 to go. Red Cedar. Tanner Thorson looking for his first points-paying win with Kubota Highlander Racing. Has been trying for the last 2 seasons, trying to challenge Kyle Larson down low in turn 4. Back behind the top 3, it's Chase Randall running in 4th. They side-by-side battle for 5th. Decent Pursley down low.
Catching up a little bit on the bottom.
Aaron Reitzel trying to crack into the top 10, but cannot get by number 13. Back up front, Thorson is keeping Kyle Larson in check. Those two separated by just 3 car lengths rolling into turn 1. Tanner Thorson, one of the best in the country when it comes to running the bottom of the racetrack. Now working on Larson in turn 3. Caution comes out.
Oh, they.
It's okay. Gives you a chance for your tires to cool off a little.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Not sure what.
Oh,
the
the
cone.
cone.
I'm not sure what
Where the
cone,
heck did the cone
but
come
a
from?
cone has been hit. And it is sitting in the middle of the track in turn 4.
Must have been one they had by the grass.
Yeah, I've
That is
seen one
not
of those
the
in grass.
restart cone, obviously. They've not had a single file restart, so not sure where that cone came from.
Yeah, I don't know.
do see a couple like it entering turn 3. And I would not be
Somebody
shocked
must
if
have tagged
your
one.
second place car, Tanner Thorson, getting down low, trying to find grip, potentially hit that cone. But that is what draws the yellow with 4 laps completed. The leaders were coming up on the back of the field. They were about to encounter traffic, and the yellow flag will take them out of that. The next time by, you'll see the Frozen Farmer pig pint come onto the racetrack. The drivers will either go inside or outside of that pig pint, signifying that they will choose the bottom or the top for the restart. Larson, Thorson, Abreu, an interesting trio at the front of the field. Those 3 guys raced against each other a ton growing up in Northern California. The Outlaw Carts at Cycleland Speedway in Red Bluff, California. Now they are finding themselves battling for a win here during the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series with Kubota Highlander Racing. Looks like Thorson,
Inside?
I'm not surprised by that at all. He is going to choose the bottom and essentially give up the second spot to Abreu, who will go to the top. We know that Tanner Thorson is very,
He wants to
very
be on
good
the
at
bottom,
running
man, so he's going to go start
It just makes sense
on the
for
bottom.
him.
He's going to let a Brave go to the front row.
Upcoming restart. Now Rico, the Durst Dice Roller, trying to hit it for the second time this year.
88's good on the bottom.
Next year race leader Kyle Larson.
He didn't want to start on the outside.
Coming to the green this time.
Larson likes the outside.
So it's all about the driver. There's no crew chief.
Yeah.
Back underway. Larson gets away. Behind them, it's a scramble from 4th on back as Aaron Reitzel's going to make his way by the 13 of Decent Pursley. Move Aaron Reitzel to the top 5. Brad Sweet makes his way by Brett Marks, and Sweet's now up to 7th. Brad Sweet started outside the top 10, now cracks into the top, almost to the top 5. He's made his way by Brett Marks, now working on Decent Pursley to turn 1. For that second spot, they're almost 3 wide.
He ain't fast on the bottom.
Tanner Thorson to Rico Abreu. Thorson takes second into turn 3. Tanner Thorson down low, but now needs to try and rope in the number 57.
Come on, Abreu.
Kyle Larson has lost a ton of ground.
I want Abreu to tie him up a little bit, keep him there.
Aaron Reitzel now up to 5th. The next car he will encounter is the 9R of Chase Randall. Tanner Thorson slides across the nose of Rico Abreu. Thorson's got it across the line. Now chops the nose on Abreu to turn 1. Tanner Thorson back down to the bottom. Rico Abreu running the top. They keep swapping lines. They roll back into turn number 3. Rico Abreu going to elect to go to the cushion. Thorson tries to run the middle off of turn number 4. Tanner Thorson about a straightaway or half a straightaway.
Now he went to the top.
Kyle Larson about to encounter lap traffic, but none of the cars are in his racing line. They are running the bottom. Kyle is on the top. Kyle Larson working on Jeremy Snow will put him
Thought I seen yellow
on
lights.
turn number 2. So now one lap car between the first and second place machines. Avery still running in third. Chase Randall in fourth. Aaron Reitzel is fifth. Then Dason Persley, Brad Sweet, Brent Marks, Casey Kane, and Ayrton Jennington rounds out the top 10. Here on lap number 10. Tanner Thorson desperately trying to track down Kyle Larson. He's now had to evacuate the bottom of the racetrack. Runs the top in turns 3 and 4 in his pursuit. Here's a race going on for about the 7th spot as Larson makes his way by Joel Myers Jr. Now working on Max Guilford into turn 3. The lap cars are not an issue for Kyle Larson as we got this battle going on here.
He is.
As Brent Marks has made
He's
his way
passing
by
people.
Dason
He's going
Persley.
all the way around and pitching the back.
Kane makes his way by Dason
Now
Persley.
they're fighting all those lap cars. There's a lot of newbies out there tonight.
He's made his way solidly into the top 10. Tyler Courtney's making his way forward as well. Tyler Courtney's into the top 5.
You can go caution free, be nice.
He's made his way by Ayrton Jennington, now working on Dason Persley into turn 1. Persley going to go to the low side.
Come on, show Larson.
The 9th spot off of turn number 2. Pull side by side with the Boot Motorsports number 13. Tyler Courtney's out up to 9th. Tyler Courtney to 9th, and now on the back bumper of Casey Kane as they roll back into turn number 1. Tyler Courtney came into this main event as the points leader. Here comes Corey Day around the outside.
Corey Day, come on, Corey Day.
Tyler Courtney gets prime into turn 3.
Dang, that was a risky
Corey
move.
Day up
No, whoa.
He's a bit of a maniac sometimes.
He's
We know
18.
that when he ran over Larson that one time, remember?
He's 18, babe.
Yeah. He drives like he do.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson.
Darn.
Oh. Who's that?
We got one spun around on the backstretch. It is Max
Number
Guilford, 16C.
16. I don't know who he is.
Max Guilford, the car that is spun in not exactly turn 3, but the end of the back straightaway. Here on lap number 16, he was running in the 23rd position at the time of the incident for Guilford. And that is exactly what Tanner Thorson, Rico Avery, that's what they wanted to see. There was a yellow. Those two battled a little bit too hard on the last restart, allowing Larson to get away. And so looks like they are going to get the 16C refired.
This was like a peppermint, babe. Birch bees. How do you pronounce it? Birch bees. Like a peppermint.
Why can't I use it then?
Use what?
So trying to get the lineup sorted
She
out
wanted
here
this.
in the tower. We know that Kyle Larson is the race leader, followed
Isn't
by
it
Tanner Thorson,
chapstick,
Rico
isn't
Avery in third,
Kinda.
Chase Randall fourth, and Aaron Reitzel
I don't know what
in
it
fifth. Sixth is Brad Sweet, seventh Brent Marks, eighth Casey
It's not
Kane,
getting color
ninth
to
Dason
it, I don't
Persley.
think.
Yeah, there's
And
color.
from outside of road
It's
two,
like a
Corey Day is up
sunscreen,
into the top
tinted
10.
sunscreen, you know. But it's not really lipstick, but it's more likely like a, what you call it, like a,
Lip gloss?
no,
Lost is
what you
pretty
call it?
Don't know.
When you have a chapped lips.
Yeah, chapstick.
So
No, the
we're
other one.
less than halfway
I
through
forgot what
this
it
main
called.
event. As Kyle Larson's looking for his first Highlander
This
Racing
one got
win since
color.
March 19th when he got the job done at the
With
Thunderbolt
peppermint.
Raceway in Tulare,
What's a
California.
peppermint? So you feel like
Tanner
peppermint.
Thorson looking for
Peppermint.
his first full
It's like a
time
menthol.
win of his
Dang,
career.
now he's gonna have
As
the
a
88
full-time
right behind
driver
him
with the
again.
series. He got a win last
Oh.
year
Of course, the
at
88,
Silver Dollar Speedway,
he
but
took
that
the
was
low this time. This time I think he may go to the top.
did not count for points.
What?
No, he's gonna go to the bottom again.
So that did not count in the official record book for the series. Thorson once again chooses the bottom at the Frozen Farmer Pig Pint to line up behind Kyle Larson.
Larson's doing really good on the top
You
side.
know
Let's
what?
hope it keeps going
Well,
that way.
if you're
Are
watching
kids-
home on Flow,
oh,
if you're here in the
oops.
grandstand, you may have
Are
seen
kids
that
allowed to
ambulance
have
pull
lip-
up
Baby,
on the
be
field.
quiet.
We have a medical emergency in the pit area.
Uh-oh.
And so we cannot continue this race.
They gotta
until
hold
we have
on
an
until the
ambulance
ambulance
that is
comes
available
back.
in the infield. So
They
that
have a
is what is
medical
going
emergency
on
in the
as we go red.
pit area.
Ambulance
Why?
tending to a
So there's only one ambulance.
Pit area.
They got to have the ambulance
What
there.
happened?
So once we get the ambulance back into the infield,
I don't know.
we will be able to resume this race.
Could be one of the fans. Could
But
be.
for now, we're going to have to stop it.
Somebody. Something happened.
Or maybe, one of the people got hurt and then something happened. I don't know.
They can't do nothing until the ambulance is available in case they need it for one
Race
of the
fans, while
drivers.
we have a moment here, we do have the winning 50-50 ticket. So if you'd like to get that out real quick, we have the 50-50 ticket right here, the winning. It is a white ticket. It is 284-209-26. 284-209-26. If you have that ticket, you have won $1,436 here tonight.
What number?
So that is the winning ticket number. Once again, it is a 284-209-26. You won $1,436. It is a pink ticket. Excuse me, pink ticket. It looked white to me. But a pink ticket.
Baby, move away. Move.
And so you see.
Okay, you're shaking my table.
Out to the track. And they will be adding fuel and making some adjustments to the car over there due to the red flag.
How many fans are starting to go over there and bug the driver? I see somebody bugging Larson. I don't even think.
Once again, if you're just joining us on Flow, we just had a medical emergency in the pit area. And the ambulance is having to take care of that. And then once the ambulance makes its way back into the infield, we will continue this race. Let's take a break here on Flow. We'll have an update for you. Well, never mind. We will not be going to break because we're
All
going
running
down
out
to
there with fuel. See, some of them, their car runs better when it has the weight in the back.
Tony's
Helps them turn or do whatever.
Chase,
You
we're
see, they're
ready.
filling up 88
We're having with
again.
Tanner Thorson. He's always up to give us a soundbite. So, Tanner, this race, fast and furious, you keep electing to jump down to the bottom. That's not a real surprise. Do you feel like you're back at the Red Bluff days racing with Abreu and Larson like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it plays a good factor that we kind of all three know how each other race and, going to give respect where respect due and, kind of play it out like men. So, yeah, car's good. I just don't know what to do on a restart. I feel like the top's not my jam on a restart, but I feel like the bottom's better. But then Rico obviously got a good jump and had to make me work a little bit harder for it. So, I went to the bottom again, and then we went red. So I don't know what I'm going to do here.
I mean, obviously the car seems to work very well.
That's good. You don't know what you're going to do.
But I mean,
Of course he's not gonna say it.
Drawn even with them. Could that
My
I don't
God.
think he really doesn't know what he's going to do, honestly.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so dirty and so slick there through the middle.
You're not gonna tell everybody what you're gonna do.
It don't matter there.
Yeah, kinda, but
Larson's going to start first, so it doesn't matter where he starts.
It's Tanner Thorson. The car, in fact, is quite good, and it's been getting better as of lately. Remember, an 11th place finish on the big track of Port
if I'm the driver, why do I need to say my strategy? What's reason? Do I benefit to it to tell everybody? Of course he knows what you're gonna do. He just don't want to say it.
He wants to go up front.
They already know the strategy.
Then he started the bottom, so now he don't know what he's the real question is he doesn't know how to catch Kyle Larson. That's the problem. His car's fast, but
He's
he
learning.
can't figure out what he's got to do to get by Larson.
They're all learning.
What Tanner Thorson elects to do. Does he jump down to the bottom again? Or does he try to draw even and stay as close as he can on this restart with Kyle Larson by electing the outside? Rico Abreu, he'll have to see what those two do in front of him and then make the best decision he can.
All right, thank you very much, Tony. As we do want to let you know, the 50-50 was claimed. So if you were wondering if you won, you did not.
Some of them like to add that fuel in the back because it puts more weight in the back, makes the tires bite better.
Yeah.
Into the infield, and the horn has sounded here for the open red flag conditions. So we should be able to get the cars back underway in just a few moments' time. And Tony, I don't know if you're still there or not, but remember Tanner Thorson, you mentioned his best ever finish with Highlander Racing for a full points race was back at East Bay Raceway Park last year for the first race of the season. He ran third, but he did battle, and I don't know if he led a lap or not in that race, but he battled and got very close with Kyle Larson. So every time Tanner Thorson's in the mix for a win, it seems like he's got to battle the 57 to do it.
Chase, you take the words right out of my mouth. He did have to battle with Kyle Larson, who scored the first ever victory in Kubota Highland Racing's maiden voyage as a national tour. Quick little note, something really cool. I was fortunate to get to see just by randomly coming over here. Kyle Larson has parked his Finley Farms Fulkins Brothers Trucking number 57 right here at the end of the back straightaway. Once the race went red, that gave Kevin Rudeen and family a chance to escape out of the infield and back up to the top side after the obvious heartbreak of their driver. Justin Peck suffering a terminal engine failure. Kevin stopped, leaned in. He and Kyle Larson talked about how much fun and how much they were looking forward to getting to see the 26 and the Paul Silva 57 battle. Kyle Larson commented he was really looking forward to racing Justin. And then, of course, Kevin Rudeen leaned in and told Kyle Larson best of luck. But Kevin Rudeen sent that message to a bunch of the cars sitting here at the end of the back straightaway. So that's what we're talking about when we say not just high limit, but sprint car as a whole, as a sport. It's very fortunate to have a guy like Kevin Rudeen a part of it. He's an advocate, he's a champion, and he's a supporter of everyone on this racetrack right now.
You cannot say enough good things when it comes to Kevin Rudeen. Can't wait to get up to Skagit Speedway later on this year for the Skagit Nationals. Going to pay over $100,000 to win. And then tomorrow, of course, we head over to 141 Speedway in Marybelle, Wisconsin. That is a $26,000 to win for the Race Rudeen Foundation event. Now, a couple of you may be wondering, hey, you know, we saw the Frozen Farmer pick pine come onto the racetrack there. We saw a couple of drivers choose. And, you know, you heard Tanner Thorson kind of mention there, well, we might choose this on the next one. Well, that was canceled out due to the red flag, due to the ambulance going back to the track, or going back to the pit area, excuse me. That Frozen Farmer pick pint session right there will be redone when we get the cars back underway, which is happening right now. Cars begin to come back to life here at the Red Cedar Speedway. And so we will have 14 laps remaining here in this main event. Larson, Thorson, Abreu, and Randall, and Reitzel, the top five. Chase Randall looking to equal his best finish of the year that came back at Texas Motor Speedway dirt track with a 4th place finish. For a moment there, on that last run, he was 3 wide for second, but could not quite close the deal. As you see Tanner Thorson right there. If you watch High Limit a lot, you might hear me mention the sponsor, The Ritual, on that car. It's on the nose wing, right on the front portion of the nose wing there. That is actually a book. So a book that sponsors Tanner Thorson's car. If you want to check it out, I don't know if it's on Amazon or where it's at, but The Ritual. Tony, you might know more about it.
Unfortunately, I don't, Chase, but as much as you and I spend time reading in the rental car up and down the road, I'll definitely look into it. I wanted to talk about something that we've talked about already. You know, you talk about the sponsors on that Rod Gross Motorsports number 88 for Tanner Thorson. I talked about this back at Tri-Cities in Illinois earlier in May, but I just think it's such a cool story. Rod Gross and his wife Nancy, they weren't even sure they were going to go national touring, wing sprint car racing. Around the Chili Bowl last January, I don't remember the story perfectly. It was either just a few weeks before or just a few weeks after. I want to say it was a few weeks before the Chili Bowl Nationals, which you can watch live on Flow. Last January, that Rod Gross reached out to Tanner Thorson and expressed the interest to him that, hey, I'd like to go team up with this new series, Kubota High Limit Racing, and I think you'd be a great fit. So Tanner Thorson, armed with pretty much nothing but a can-do attitude, and his great friend Britt Marvel, and with the assistance of Rod Gross and his financial backing, and then some race cars and some parts, they went to work building their own program. So when you hear people down here, when you hear the drivers during the race route, will say, I picked Tanner Thorson as my crew chief, I picked Tanner, it's because he has literally built that race car from the ground up. He's made it the way he wants, and it's because of Rod and Nancy Gross giving him a chance. Right before the season started last year, they got that program up and running, and Tanner Thorson is getting it exactly where he wants to these days.
Yeah, it's certainly, I mean, it's taken a little bit of time, right? I mean, last year, Tanner Thorson, 13th in the point standings. Probably not the year that he was really hoping for when it comes to points, but you could tell that team is getting better and better every single night. And you can tell the last couple races, they've been qualifying better, which has been an issue for them in the first season and, you know, for the first part of this year as well. Tanner Thorson has been much better at qualifying here in the last couple of weeks. And well, to win these races, Tony, you got to be able to qualify pretty good.
I mean, that's the name of the game in wing sprint car racing, pretty much anywhere you go, right? And you're exactly right. Tanner and TJ and Britt Marvel will all agree.
I think he's going to start on the outside.
Been their Achilles heel several times this year. They have ripped the race car completely down to a bare frame to go through it to make sure every part of it is put together and working as well and as smoothly as it possibly can. They are figuring out qualifying like you talked about, and they're putting themselves in great position. Tanner Thorson is going to decide whether he starts high or low on this restart, along or behind Kyle Larson.
Yeah, we also need to watch for Chase Randall here. I mentioned it earlier. He's currently running in fourth, which would equal his best finish.
Outside.
Thorson will choose the top for the Frozen Farmer pick
Thorson went
outside.
this time.
But Randall running fourth. His last finishes with
I think he's
high
going to try to go outside and cut down under.
39th at Port Royal, 21st, 17th, 23rd, 12th, and then 6th, but then 13th and 19th. So that team really needs a good run from the quickest chicken here tonight to get things turned back around. We're coming to green this time by 14 laps to go for Kyle Larson. Or will it be Tanner Thorson or Rico Abreu? We're about to find out. We're coming back to green this time by off of turn number 4.
Oh, nice jump.
Larson on the gas, not a good start on the outside for Tanner Thorson. That allows Rico Abreu to go by for that second spot. Abreu dips down low into turn 1. Pulls up to the left rear of Kyle Larson.
Come on, Larson.
Come on! Oh my gosh.
Rico Abreu, the top spot, turn number 4. Rico Abreu takes the spot away.
Larson's car didn't take off.
Not
sure why not.
Cannot make it happen there. Rico pulling away down the back straightaway.
This car did not get going.
Back to second. Here comes
For some reason.
I don't know. I don't know why he's on the bottom. Looks slow.
Turn 4 cannot gain ground on Rico. That time by 12 laps to go. Rico Abreu trying to win the first 3 Roto-Rooter Midweek Series races in a row. This time by Rico taps the cushion off of turn number 4. 11 laps to go for the 2-4 up front. Tanner Thorson now got that car wound up on the top side of the racetrack, and he is keeping close with Kyle Larson as they roll back into turn 3. Traffic will play a factor by the time this race is over, but most of the cars are down on the bottom. That will allow Rico to make his way to the outside. Kyle Larson closing back in down the back straightaway. This time by going to be, car around right in front of your leader. Brenham Crouch, the caution comes out for number 5.
I don't know what it was. His car just said
I know,
like
it didn't go. It just like stocks.
Yeah, just
right in front of the race leaders. He was running.
Well, as slow as he's going, I thought he was going to pull off.
19th position at the time.
Now they're saying he's going fast.
And
I don't know,
so
maybe
10 laps to go.
from it sitting, it's just
We will have a restart.
carburetor was kind of not acting right or something. I don't know. But now at least he gets a restart and start on the front row again.
Rico Abreu trying to have the Durst dice roll hit for the second time this year. He is trying to sweep the first
No.
He better get it figured out now.
Series races and extend his points lead in the midweek series point standings.
And Chase, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure the only time the Durst dice have been collected this year was thanks to a Rico Abreu victory. So that's got to make a Durst dice rolling fan in the grandstands pretty good here, as there will be no Frozen Farmer pick pine as we are inside of 10 to go, so the field should be restarting single file inside of 10 laps remaining.
Yeah, you see that orange cone on the racetrack on the front stretch, folks. That cone signifying drivers cannot pass each other before that cone. They can't hit the cone. They
Start
cannot
single
go
file now.
below the cone, or it will result in a penalty. Here on the single file restart, as Aaron Reitzel on that last run, we were keeping up with the front of the field. Reitzel's up to 4th, and Brad Smith is gotten by Chase Randall. He's in the top 5.
He was way faster than everybody else a minute ago, and all of a sudden he was slow.
Thorson,
Guess we'll see.
Sweet.
Maybe he just wasn't ready. I don't know.
In turn number 4, who is going to get the win?
Find out.
Red Cedar Speedway. Rico and Kyle both go to the bottom in turn 1. Tanner Thorson trying to get going around the outside. Down the back straightaway, the top.
It's not going. I don't know.
Car don't look right.
He'll try and throw a slider on Kyle Larson to turn number 3 and 4. He'll make the pass on
Oh!
up to second now.
Dang.
Takes second away from Kyle Larson off of turn number 4. Now tries to close it on Rico.
Something wrong with his car.
For the 4th position, give it to Brent Marks. Marks out of nowhere's up to 4th. Larson back to the inside of Thorson. They get very close to turn number 4. Close call between the 57 and the 88. Rolling back into turn 1. Kyle Larson trying to run the bottom. Tanner Thorson around the outside. They nearly go side by side once again. Now Thorson, he'll throw a slider right back at Kyle Larson.
I think for some reason he's slowing down.
That allows Rico Abreu to pull away. Kyle Larson now back across the start-finish line. He's got P2.
Trouble is that Brady was gone.
7 laps to go.
Right.
Clear race leader Rico Abreu. Aaron Reitzel running in 4th. Brent Marks rounds out the top 5.
Let him get way. He's gone.
Behind Marks, it is
I
Brad
have to.
Sweet.
Well, Brady wins again.
Spencer Baston. Nice and
Yuck.
slow around the bottom here. He's up into the 8th position.
The only thing that's going to save him now is the caution comes out for some reason.
To the back of the field. There's about 5 laps to go this time by. As the race for 4th is getting hot and heavy between Aaron Reitzel, Brent Marshall, and Sweet. The cushion off of turn 4 is right on the concrete. Reitzel takes 3rd away from Tanner Thorson off of turn number 2. Thorson now slips back to 4th. Kyle Larson is closing in on Rico down the front straightaway. That time by.
Come on. No, come on. Larson. Get it. Get it, Larson.
Now his car's running.
Get it, Larson. Yeah.
I think he's got enough. I think he does.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Get it, Larson. Get it.
This time by, gonna come around and away with the white flag at Red Cedar Speedway. 1 lap to go for Rico Abreu. Here comes Kyle Larson down the front stretch. Rolling into it like it's blocked by a slow.
Oh, drop it.
Freaking slow car killed him.
He's gonna maintain the race lead.
It's over.
Down the back stretch into turns 3 and 4.
That slow car killed him.
The cushion in turn number 4. He will sweep the first 3 midweek series races. Rico gets the win. Kyle Larson into
Oh, darn. Aye.
Tanner Thorson, then Aaron Reitzel and Brad Sweet.
Darn it.
The Durst dice roll has been claimed again.
Can I say something?
And Rico Abreu
Don't
has
say it.
gotten the job
I really
done by
want to
just
say it.
1/10
Just
of
don't.
a second
I
over
want to
Kyle
blah,
Larson
blah,
at the
blah.
finish line.
Okay, you've been shaking my table.
Sorry.
Rounds out the top 10.
Darn.
And an issue for Corey Day after the line. He is stopped
I'm
in
not
turn number 2. Not sure
picking
what happened
Larson
there.
anymore.
But it looks
I'm
like
done.
he needs the hook to get off
I'm
of the
done.
racetrack as Rico's going to make his way back towards the scales. For the 5th time this year, Rico Abreu. As long as he passes Tech down there on the scales and meets the minimum weight requirement, which is 1,425 pounds, he will be visiting Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. And it is official, race fans. Your winner tonight at Red Cedar Speedway is Rico Abreu. He is headed to Whiskey Myers Victory Lane.
Bummer!
I don't know. His car didn't take off for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Something was right with it.
He has now swept.
But then I hate when a lap car gets in the freaking way, man.
I
But
know.
what can you do? Yeah.
His 5th win of the year. And he is absolutely jacked up down there in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. Let's go downstairs to Tony Laporta.
Jacked up is a way to describe Rico Abreu, I think, at all times and in all seasons of the year. He's excited. He loves to live life.
Not happy!
To drive race-winning sprint cars. And that is exactly what he's done here early and often.
I'm done.
In 2025
Okay,
with
just be
Komodo High
quiet.
Limit Racing, and all across the board, he's going to make his way around the front of this shoprico.com. Rico Abreu Racing number 24. He's got Swan Island Sheet Metal Works and ArcZone.com on the side of it, as well as a bunch of other great partners. Ladies and gentlemen, he can hear you. He's your winner, Rico Abreu. Hey, you going to give anybody else a chance here in this Roto-Rooter midweek deal? That is 3 for 3. You're batting 1,000 on the midweek races.
Just incredible to get the opportunity to race midweek, to get to race against the best in the business. You know, I know how good Paul Silva gets that car for Kyle Larson, and you know, when you square up just against them guys, you know, you got to hit your mark. So, you know, taking off on the inside row is definitely an advantage. I just knew, you know, if I could just stick the bottom off of 2, and Ricky Warner got to work on my car there at that open red flag, and we made a few adjustments. They got the ground clearance really good in this thing for the feature. So I'm just very fortunate to be racing with some incredible partners. You know, with Waste Connections, we had 100 employees here tonight, you know, in this general area here of Wisconsin, and just the racing in Wisconsin, what it produces. You know, just thankful High Limit got a race here. Pacific Boring, Waste Connections, Royal Jones, Rich Saddleoffer. You know, we got Spankins Motorsports here from Wisconsin. You know, it's just all these people get involved with this team, and it's just incredible stuff.
I'm telling you, when you took the lead for the first time away from Larson, I'm wearing these headphones. The field's coming by the starter stand, and I could still hear this front stretch grandstand get loud for you. What do you got to say to these Badger State fans?
We're just very fortunate to get the opportunity to race here. You know, just Wisconsin has the best fans. We really enjoy getting to come up here and race. Just the whole sport is doing so great right now. The racing's really exciting. You know, you got guys coming from NASCAR to come compete against. You know, this is end up being, I'd say, that the toughest racing in the world. The fastest pace. The most.
Come on, too much talking. I want to hear Larson.
Traveling up and down the road, running 80 times a year. You know, 2 weekdays, we got 5 races in a row.
Our second place finisher, Kyle Larson, he had the Jake's Golf Cart's fastest lap of the race award. He ran a 13:351 on lap number 6. And our hard charger of the main event here in this feature event was Spencer Baston, 15th to 7th, +8 for him. Those are the contingency award winners, Tony.
I'm standing down here with our Jake's Golf Cart's fastest lap award winner and our second place finisher. You almost broke the track record pushing Rico Abreu across the finish line here. If you don't have the lap traffic going down into turn 1 on the white flag lap, can you beat him?
It's racing, so you never really know. But yeah, it just was. I just didn't do a good job after that break. The top was just really dirty to fire off there on that restart. I just spun kind of all the way through 1 and 2, and could kind of see his nose in the center, and he just got a big run down the back and slid me, and then just had to get kind of wound back up, but felt really good. Just I just struggled for a lap after the restarts there at the end, and then Tanner got a big run on me, and we got racing, and Rico got out to like a straightaway on us, and we were able to run him down really quickly, and just I don't know if you necessarily call it like ran out of time, but just probably needed to get there just a little sooner, honestly, before he caught traffic. But my car felt great. Would have obviously loved to gotten a win, but Rico just did a really good job, as he has been all year. So it's awesome to see the 2014 running good, but we wanted to win that one.
I saw under the red flag at the back straightaway, Kevin Rudine got to stop and talk with you, and you guys shared pleasantries after Justin Peck's falling out of this race. We, on the other hand, got to talk to Tanner Thorson. He said he thought this race would end with you guys up there at the front, you Red Bluff Outlaws, racing each other like men. Is that what high limit racing is these days? A bunch of hard-working race car drivers racing each other with respect?
Yeah, I think so. I think high limit racing always puts on really exciting, fun races. I just think the average age is probably a lot younger than some of the other series, and the tracks that we're going to are really exciting. So Red Cedar was awesome surface, awesome shape, great banking, just a really great track. You couldn't ask for much more there. It was on the fence, real thin strip around the bottom. You can kind of work the crumbs a little bit in the center. So yeah, just a great track. So just thanks to my sponsors, Finley Farms, Flow Racing, HinderCars.com, Fulton Brothers, Roto-Rooter. Cool to get a midweek race in. The weather's been killing them. Durst, Glenn Stiers, JBI Group, everybody who helps out on this thing. So yeah, just got tomorrow night at 141, and hopefully we do one spot better.
He's rocking the Roto-Rooter colors. Kyle Larson comes home second at Roto-Rooter midweek.
Tomorrow, he'll get it done.